Bruce's big call Dinar Intel Thursday night the 12th of September 24. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Transcribed by Wiser, now emailed to recaps. Welcome everybody to the big call tonight. It is Thursday, September the 12th, and you're listening to the big call. Thanks everybody for tuning in once again, and I hope we have some good information, and I think I have some up to date. I mean, talking about the last 15 minutes, getting something that is fresh to us. So that was a pleasant surprise. Okay, alright, did we get a time hack? Bob, I don't remember if we did 10:15. Okay, great. I think we can get this done in 15 minutes. You guys, I won't go on and on, but I do have some important information for us. So first of all, let's address a couple of things that Jeannie brought out in her prayer request tonight. One was R&R. I believe the other was Social Security increases, that type of thing. Alright, so on the Social Security increase, what I'm getting from our contact, who knows a guy is in the Social Security office in the center of the central part of the country. He said that this increase that we're looking for should happen, I'm going to say the third and fourth week, third and fourth Wednesday of the month. It should happen and be included in the amount of Social Security you receive. If it doesn't show up there, it should show up by the end of this month. So, if you have already had Society Sec the first Wednesday, or the second Wednesday, which was the 11th, so that would have been the 4th and then the 11th, you should still get that increase as a separate payment showing up in that account, in your bank account that receives Social Security by direct deposit. You should get that if this information holds out before the end of the month this month. So that was encouraging to have that. And regarding R&R, what we're hearing is that the restitution and retribution allowance, that's a different way of saying reclamation, retribution allowance, R. And R is going to show up for those of us who are exchanging currency and redeeming ZIM. That will show up in our Quantum account, and it is there already. And we'll have in that account. And then we can go, when we go for our exchanges and ZIM redemption, we can move, once we've done that and we have a pile, as Bob likes to say. A pile of money that is going into our Quantum account. We can move a portion of that into our primary or secondary Wells account, and have that lined up for us. And don't be shy of moving money. I mean, some people are moving tens of millions or 100 million or whatever, and some of us are going to move $1 billion into each of our LLC accounts, which I have 4. So that's my plan. You do what you guys feel, and remember, you can go back for 30 to 60 days for your projects, and it should. Whatever you move. But just be smart and don't move everything in. But just move a portion of it in when you're ready to okay. And that's the only reason you will have a Quantum card. Quantum, we call it Quantum Access Card. It sounds weird to say QAC, so Quantum Card is a card that's the size of a credit card 3 times as thick. And it's only used to move funds from your Quantum account into a bank account, like a Wells or Chase or, oh gosh, there's so many different banks. You should have about 3 banks that you're able to tie into your Quantum account, 3 banks. That's what I've understood. That may or may not change, but in terms of moving funds into your Wells account first and then, whether you want to move to your Chase or your Bank of America account, or your Citi account, or your other banks, that's up to you, alright. So that I wanted to get that out of the way. The other thing is that I got Social Security. When does the retribution come out for other people that are not exchanging ZIM? Thank you, Sue. That's good. It should occur by the end of this month. I don't know that it'll come out sooner. We've already gone past the first 10 days, in this month. It's already the 3rd, almost the 13th. It's the 12th. So any deadline that we thought we had to get R&R in for everybody has passed. And I think now we're looking at possibly the next 10 days of the month. But it could very well be by the end of this month. Okay, that's a good question. Sue, thank you for helping me on that. The other thing is debt forgiveness. Debt forgiveness, or debt jubilee, is to occur starting this month, and we thought it would occur and it didn't, in August, but it should occur in this one. And again, this is my personal opinion, and I think this is a good one when it comes to R&R and debt forgiveness, those except for a few situations. Will occur after the RV has occurred, and we have toll-free numbers, and we're setting appointments for our exchanges. I believe that's going to end up being the case, we'll see. So look for more on that information to hit in the last couple of weeks of this month, of September. Let's go on beyond that. What we're hearing today is very positive for our bondholders. We and realize that those of us in Tier 4, that's 4A and 4B, are supposed to be on a quote-unquote shotgun start with Tier 3 our bondholder friends. Now those guys put up their bonds for the most part. We still have some people with sheet bonds that have not taken them in. If you have them, bring them with you to your redemption center appointment. But you also let them know when you make your appointment that you have so many sheet bonds, and the type that you have. I've got XYZ number of railroad bonds. I've got some German bonds. I've got whatever you have that you have like that. Let them know when you're on the phone with the redemption center what you're bringing in, apart and above your currency and your ZIM, which is essentially a bond. They know that. We know that. We're not talking about ZIM, I'm talking about sheet bonds, okay? And I hope you have the provenance to go with them so they can knock those out for you. And let them know so they can give a longer period of time for your exchange. But Cayuse, it will take a little while. It's one thing to do currency on a Delarue machine, and do ZIM, but it's another thing entirely to hypothecate these ZIM bonds. I don't mean bonds, sorry, but sheet bonds, okay. Important that you let them know you and let them know approximately how many. If you've got a banker's box full of sheet bonds, let them know. If you've got 2 or 3 or 10, let them know that. Okay, just let them know, because they will be able to navigate and negotiate those during your appointment. Okay, that's it. Now, what else? When it comes to what the bondholders have been able to do, they can see the funds from various of their bonds in their account. They can see it. They can't get access to it until tomorrow. We've had some people with bonds that have gone in for appointments today to navigate and to get the quantum card up and running for them with one bank or another bank. And maybe a third bank they have appointments with tomorrow to do the same thing with their quantum account card and get everything put in. You remember, we talked about biometric fingerprint. We talked about new username, brand new password, 5-digit PIN code. Which would be brand new to them and their email. Those 5 things, and there may be 1 or 2 other things that they need to do. But that would get them access. And my understanding is for certain people that we know are to gain access once they do that tomorrow. Gain access to their funds, have access to them. Which is great news because I believe it says something about when we, in Tier 4B and 4A, are to be notified. It should. Tomorrow's Friday the 13th. I think it could be our lucky day. And I mean that in the sense that another piece of intel. I think I told you this in the intro. The other piece of intel received today, and it's not much, but I think this says everything. According to this very good source, we should receive everything going out after markets close tomorrow. Which is 4 p.m. Eastern, daylight time when the markets close, meaning the stock markets when they close tomorrow. Everything should be released for us. That would be our emails that the toll-free number included, and that way we can begin to set up appointments and hopefully exchange starting Saturday. I know Redemption Center staff told us they would be going in today, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all 4 days in a row, and they are doing that so that they can be there. Okay, tomorrow, quite possibly. They're there to receive our calls once we call in the 800 number, and we get the information given to us that we enter on the AI system. And then we get switched to the Redemption Center that is closest to our zip code that we put in. Then we should speak to a live human being, not a computer. We get a live person to talk to them and finish setting our appointment there, and it shouldn't take more than 2 minutes to set our appointments. That's what they're counting on. It's not a time to ask 20 questions. Just get the very basic information you need. And they'll probably end up being able to send you a confirming email letter with the address of the location or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do, but I know that you're going to have a way to know what your appointment is. Where it is, fact that you're going to get there no more than 10 minutes before your appointment time. If you're running late and you can't make it, you're Saul until the next time you reschedule. Don't think you can run late to this. If you're somebody who is consistently late for anything, make sure you get there early for this. 10 minutes early. That's when you want to arrive to the Redemption Center, not to banks. This is to Redemption Center. Now to be fair, some redemption centers are attached to banks. They're usually a separate building or separate entrance, or whatever, it could be attached to a bank. Okay, so don't be turned off by that. Let there be people there to verify your currency and count ITV on the Delarue machine. There'll be, US Marshals there in case you were to try to pull something over their eyes, and they're going to not want any of that to happen. No shenanigans, and you could be removed from the premises, if that was to be the case. Alright, so here's what I'm saying, it looks very good for tomorrow or Saturday. Obviously, I'm hoping, just like you guys, it is tomorrow and we get notifications after 4 tomorrow afternoon when the markets close. So be looking for your emails tomorrow after 4. Let's see what happens, and we should have a very exciting and wonderful weekend. Maybe we get pushed off to early next week, but I have not heard that that is absolutely going to be our way. I would think if these could come out, after the March closed at 4. We could be setting appointments tomorrow, and then we could get started on exchanges on maybe on Saturday. And don't think just because the bank is open till 1 or 2 on a Saturday, that influences the hours of the redemption center. It doesn't. Redemption centers could be open as early as 8 in the morning or earlier and go really late. They could go all the way to 11 or 12 o'clock at night. They could go to midnight. It's going to depend on the demographics of the area where you live or where you're applying to. Don't be surprised if you could set an appointment as late as 10 o'clock at night. You know, I think they want to get this in. They want this ZIM in yesterday. They want it in there, because it hydrates the banks. It really does. It gets the banks and US hydrate with funds. So I think it's a great situation we find ourselves in. I was hoping for my last piece of intel came in 15 minutes to start with the big call. That's amazing. So thank you Jesus for that. Alright, that's everything I want to say tonight. Alright, so I wanted to tell you that. And let's go ahead and thank everybody. Sue, thank you. Thank you Bob. Excellent call for both of you tonight, I think. And thank you Big Call Universe for listening these 13 years. Thank you staff team to so many listeners around the globe. So it's a wonderful benefit that I'm just thrilled that we were able to get that done and that you guys made that available to us. We got to see if we get our numbers tomorrow, after markets close at 4 Eastern tomorrow. Listen to the full version on the official DinarReport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: DinarRecaps.com